Hello everybody, Dr. Blue here, coming at you with the first ever review not only using stream gameplay, but also the first review of a game that is relatively on time. I will ask that you cut me a little slack on this one though. It's the first review I'll be doing in the new format, so normally when I'm doing reviews I'll note down things when I'm editing them, but I don't really have to edit streams, so that's a bit different, but I think I found a way around that. And also I'm kind of getting used to the whole streaming thing, so the audio might sound a little weird on the footage I used today, but hopefully that will be fixed for future reviews, so let's get started. And we're already on to the first impressions, and I just realised I haven't even told you what we're reviewing. So my first impressions was Sea of Thieves. There was a lot of excitement about this game as it was leading up to release, and at last year's E3, the beta footage they showed looked quite decent. Unfortunately, we never got much further than that beta. But we will talk about that later, as first I want to touch on things that were good about this game. Now, the first thing that everyone notices as soon as you get in the game is the ocean and how absolutely beautifully designed it is. The ocean is gorgeous, with it flowing smoothly and glistening in the sunlight, and you could tell the atmosphere you were in by how the water looked, what colour it was, how dangerous it was in your area. The ocean was used to convey many more things than just your ship across its waters. I do have to say though, one thing that holds Sea of Thieves together is the glistening beauty of the sea. The sea is gorgeous.
Yes.
I suppose it has to be because it's a pirate game, but it is very beautiful. Another thing this game did superbly well was the sound design. Being inside of a cannon, for example, was astounding. The sound made it seem like you were actually inside of a cannon. Throwing water out of a bucket onto different surfaces would make different sounds, a lot of them custom designed, but you could really hear it in the game. This gave the game such an overwhelming sense of realism. Again, one thing I did just want to check was the sound effects on this. So we just hush up for a minute, Char. I just want to hear these sound effects. Because listen closely. It sounds as if you're in a real cannon, because the sound design on the game is really fucking good. And even the water, I mean, let me just go grab some water real quick. Got a bucket of water under the water. But if I fucking throw this shit back on the water, you can actually hear that sounds like how how water would be sounding if it got thrown. Before. Like, for instance, if you throw it on a rock, that sounds like how it would be on the rock. On the sand, it's different as well. And it's so cool. The sound design is so good. I mentioned it last stream, but I wanted to mention it again because I ain't got that footage for the review now. So I wanted to mention that. But the sound design on this game is really fucking good. If you don't take my word for it, check the game out and actually listen for it. It's really fucking good. Voyages, which was the pirate lingo for travelling between islands on quests, was some of the most relaxing experiences I've ever had in video games. Just operating out of Sanctuary Outpost with that glistening blue water, setting off your ship to a nearby island, sitting down on the end of your boat while doing it, could be very tranquil. This is kind of a double-edged sword though, as sometimes when these voyages weren't relaxing, they were extremely boring instead. If you're just chilling on your own earning some gold, then yes please, but if you're with a friend, I guess you can entertain yourselves between voyages, but the rest of the time, it can be very boring. Does this game get boring? Yeah, it can do. Oh shit. It can do, especially when you're sailing alone. Fuck. Shit. Yeah, this game can get very boring if you have nothing to do during your voyages. Most of the time I just sit there. So yeah, it can get very boring sometimes. At the moment, all there is to do is just kind of grind. There's not that much content to it. Like, you'll be able to do like a Skeleton Fort and the Kraken, and that's pretty much the only excitement you get in this game. So it's not amazing. However, things were added in between these voyages to keep it interesting. Shipwrecks, for instance. Shipwrecks to me was some of the best gameplay this game had to offer, searching the wreck of a former crew, looking around for what they may have left behind from their lives. Mainly treasure and loot, but all guarded by the depth of the ship in the water and the sharks that may nest there. These shipwrecks brought that mysterious element to the game that Sea of Thieves is missing.
Yeah.
How long do you want to go for? Because I said I'd finish in like 45 minutes and it's almost over, but I kind of want to keep going a little bit now.
Oh shit. Yeah, we can if you want to. Oh fuck, I can't get in. I can't fucking get in the fucking captain's bit.
There's a little air pocket in the second deck here, so we don't have to go all the way up. Checking the second deck.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I just can't get on. I have to wait for the sea bit to rise. Fuck. I can't get in the fucking captain's bit for some reason. I'll have a look at below decks though.
Second deck is clear. There's an air pocket at the top next to the third deck.
It's May.
Right, okay, now I'm not sure if this is the same one because there's fuck all in here. Okay, no, there's one chest. I see one chest.
Anything else in there?
I don't see at the moment, really. There could be. Yeah, there's a skull in here.
Okay, I'll just go up and get an air pocket.
I don't know if there's another. However, these ships would be a little unrealistic. First of all, there was kind of no air pockets. The sea operated in an area where the surface of the water was the surface of the water and there were no air pockets underneath. And usually these ships would be at some sort of angle too. I even found one completely upside down in my off time. And this made it really exciting but kind of hard to get into because I kind of wish the shipwrecks would just be a little more wrecked, if I'm honest. The only way to get into these ships would be through the standard hatches that you can do on a ship, and I mean, if it's a shipwreck, maybe break off a mast or two, rip out the side of the hull, I don't know, something to make them a little more wrecked. But there were plenty of other things to keep it interesting during voyages, sea beasts for instance, like the Kraken. The Kraken was this beast who would hunt down ships and attack them with unrelenting force. And I did actually manage to get some footage of this, but that stream for some reason completely disappeared off the channel, so I don't really have any of my own footage. But there is plenty of it out there. And the thing is, even though this is the features section, I find myself consistently bringing up drawbacks, and the Kraken is no exception. The Kraken is really fun to encounter because it's scary looking. You get your ink around your ship, and then it just leaps up at you, but this is dulled by the fact that there's no surefire way to run into the Kraken. I only ran into it once on stream, and that's because it was attacking someone else, and I went to go join in. The Kraken also only goes for galleons, and it's rare. And so although this is an exciting event, it's really hard to find. I do hear that they're adding a chest that lures the Kraken in future updates. But as it is now, the Kraken is a rare commodity. And speaking of, you'd think defeating the Kraken would give you amazing loot, right? Well, no, actually, you get nothing for taking down the Kraken except the survival of your own ship, which makes it very defeating and not very rewarding. However, a better example of something like this being decent is the skeleton fort, fighting many skeletons, waves of them, and finally a big captain of the fort, and the rewards are big. You kill that captain, you grab his key, you unlock the secret vault, and there is a lot of loot in there, especially if you've done it on your own. Me and my friend only ended up splitting it with a galleon, but we still got some pretty good loot. My teleportation has eased up quite a bit.
Oh, it's the captain. Captain's here.
Oh, I'm coming. Where?
Get him.
Oh, there he. Oh shit, we did it. Nice, hell yeah. Right, let's go turn in that key, whoever's got it. Right.
Fat guy in a red coat.
Watch the betrayal now. Yeah, he just opened the door, here we go. Oh shit.
I think we just grab stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. I think they got the main chest.
And see if I'm okay to take it.
Just go,
Oh, yeah.
just go, take it, just take it.
Okay.
Alright guys, take the rest. Or is that the sloop crew?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if that's the big crew or not.
Yeah, he's messaged me. Yeah, take the rest.
Oh shit, nice. They're nice guys. Okay, I actually expected a betrayal. I expected them to shoot us and take all our stuff. I am surprised they said let us take the rest, to be honest, because we got the main chest here.
I think it's because they know that we're a bit newbie.
Yeah. Hopefully this main chest gives us some dollar bills, yo.
It does. I've seen 4,000, 6,000. So.
Alright, at least we got a fucking
Way,
skeleton fort thing for the review now. This is an iconic moment.
This is the big baby.
This is an iconic moment. Fuck's sake. Right, where is it? Oh, here it is, here it is. Right. Ready?
Are you ready for this?
Selling stronghold chest. 2,800, that's not bad. That is less than I thought it would be, but that is not bad. Let's go turn in the rest.
Not that bad.
Let's turn in the rest.
We've got loads left, so...
Oh yeah. Charlotte says Rainbow Seagull. I don't know, I think Seager is better. Right. and 218. So I've gone up to 7,500 from all that. 7,600 even.
I've got to 9,800.
There is a hell of a lot of loot in these things, and this is what the Kraken needs as well. And that's kind of going to be a running theme for this game at the moment. What they currently have, like the Krakens and the Skeleton Forts, have such detail in them, but they are lacking it at the same time. This game has some stellar content so far, but just really not enough of it, which is why the features section is bringing up so many drawbacks. Other things that would make the voyages interesting were storms. Now these weren't regular storms. You get huge waves to sail through, rain slowly filling up your boat, and the risk of getting struck by lightning. These are all there, but there was this mystical element to it that your compass would completely spin out of control, throwing your navigation completely off. Your ship wheel would try to turn itself against you, and you have to turn against it to make sure you don't sail off in some weird direction. These small mysterious elements were what made these storms really interesting.
Ahead or keep turning?
North.
Oh, no,
North.
why do I do that?
Go north, go north.
I can't see where the thing is though. Spinning like crazy.
Yeah. North is... Oh, mine's going crazy as well. I couldn't tell you.
Just look on the map.
Yeah,
on the map,
yeah,
tell
you're
me
right.
which way
You're
I'm
right.
headed.
Yeah, you're right. You're headed west right now. You're headed southwest right now. So you need
Oh
to
shit!
do a full 180. What's going on? What's going on?
Stop! Fucking stop! Okay, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
What's going on? Is the dog?
No, I mean in the game. I'll be back on the ship in 2 seconds.
Oh, what's going on? What's on the island?
I've just seen a chicken coop.
Fuck's sake. And if that's not enough to keep you busy during those long ship journeys, sometimes the islands will do that for you. You could find chests like the Chest of Sorrow, which would periodically start crying to fill up your ship. You had the Barrel of 1,000 Grogs, which would make your character seriously drunk when trying to carry it. But again, this is all we have in terms of mysterious loot, and it's only for the Gold Hoarders faction. There's only 2 chests. Oh, yo, Chest of 1,000 Grogs. What's up? What's up, sign? Sounds like a whale. We're gonna see if we can find it. Right, this is gonna be fucking impossible. Right, I'm just getting more. God damn it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Forward. Forward. Come on. That's it, go forward. If we adjust the way they're falling, we could fall towards our objective. That's it. That's it. Hell yeah. Fall towards the objective. Hell yeah. However, as I said earlier, there are a lot of things that do have detail in them, especially the quests. Each quest was customised with riddles that rhyme. Each one was individually scripted and planned. So that time and dedication is what I think this team has, but they just haven't been able to do enough of it. Like for instance, the chests and skull designs are very creative and beautiful. Everything from the villainous skull, which had fragments glowing out of it, and a big ball of light in the middle of it, to the Chest of Sorrows, which had a face on it that would periodically start crying. To even the captain's chest that was absolutely beautiful, glittering with gems and gold. They were all very well designed and beautiful. It's just a shame that the Barrel of 1,000 Grogs and the Chest of Sorrows are the only unique ones in terms of effects. And lastly, the combat in this game, whilst very wonky and unrefined, could be very fun at times, especially with friends. I mean, this scene here was very fun for me.
You want to get ready? Should we drop or should we just keep...
I can see one of them on the cannons.
The firing? Firing?
He's missing.
Fuck, I missed.
Shoot to the left a little bit because of the momentum. Shoot to the left a little bit and you'll get better hits.
Oh, don't worry, I'm hitting every one of these, Captain.
Oh, this is a fucking barrage. Holy hell.
Yeah,
last repair.
Let's anchor turn and completely go around.
Last repair, boys. Are you sure?
Oh, we're out
To be
of cannonballs though, so...
I've got a few.
Somebody
I'll be able
raised
to
the
get them
sails.
from
Oh wait. Oh no, don't mind.
Hell yeah, brother! We can still hit him from this range. Obviously, throughout that whole feature section, I was constantly talking about the bad points too, and I couldn't help it because it feels like in this game, everything good about it has something bad about it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this game feels like it never got much further than the beta. And we know that because they were running weekly betas and we all played and enjoyed them, and we were waiting for them to bring in the full game, and when they did, we didn't get much. The only extra significant thing we got in the full game was the Kraken, which, as I mentioned earlier, is hard to find and you get no loot from it. There are a few small things that were added, like 3 types of skeletons and snakes, but this game felt very much like it was in the beta still. And on top of that, we still got no character customization system. Sure, you can choose from a set of pirates, but you can't customize what they look like, not even their hair colour. The only thing is you can choose a pirate, you can put some clothes on them, and that's about it. With the amount of clothes that are in the game, I'm really surprised why there isn't a character customization system. Alright, I'm gonna customize my pirate. Alright, Journey to Pirate Legend, you'll be able to customize your trading character. Yeah, we know that. Is there a character creation system though?
It's the same as before.
Oh, there's no... That's kind of annoying. I would...
Yeah, they did a video about it, saying, we know it's annoying to have a bunch of sliders and stuff, and I'm just like, I like the sliders.
I like being able to customize my pirate. Otherwise you have to search forever for the pirate you want. I kind of want a pirate with white hair as well. I don't know if you can change hair colour or not.
I don't know. I think they said they're going to put it in, if I remember correctly.
They better, because if it's not in, not going to be happy, bunny. Well, I mean, it's not in right now, so I got to kind of review it as is. And actually, speaking of the clothes and such, their prices were really raised since the beta. I know they'd be lower in the beta so people could experience the beta in time and get the clothes they wanted, but oh my lord. The sales in the beta were about 3,000 gold. In the main game, they are 70,000 gold each. Figureheads too. To put that into perspective, one of the best chests you can get in this game from a skeleton fort is roughly about 3,000 gold. After a bunch of my streams, I only have 40,000 gold. And I've not bought any items for my character. Right, and 218. So I've gone up to 7,500 from all that. 7,600 even.
I've got to 9,800.
I'm going to see about this ship, right? See if we can't. Or see at least the cheapest set of sails that makes us look different. Yo,
yeah, you have to be able to buy it.
yeah, I know, I'm just going to see. Brown Scarlet stock. Oh, fucking hell. Figureheads are like 70 grand each. Okay, everything here is 70 fucking grand. Holy shit. My fucking god. Are you serious? That's so much. The Admiral sales, 70,000, that is 10 times what we just got. Not even that, because I had a bit of gold before it. Jesus. Oh my god. Well. And oftentimes, even if you do many voyages, it could take a very long time, because I cannot tell you how many times I dug up a bunch of chests, only for them to be seafarers' chests. Which is worth about 200 gold, and is the second worst chest in the game. The odds of loot are a bit sketchy, they may need to be upgraded to make this game less of a grind. Well, at least we got a captain's chest out of it. Fuck. The thing is, we're having to go to like these sea wrecks and shit, just to get like, you know, the good shit, because our voyages don't give us anything.
We've literally just got fucking 4 seafarers and a fucking marauders. Oh wait, yeah, 2 marauders. What the fuck?
And the thing is, Marauder wasn't even a quest
and
chest.
Castaway.
The Marauders
yeah,
wasn't even a quest
to
chest.
find.
Yeah, that's just the one I found on the island as well. But let's talk about real money for a little bit. This game, when I bought it, I was shocked because it cost £50, which is about $60. And looking at the game, it seemed like an indie game, not a AAA game. $60 is usually the AAA game price. Now obviously it's a bit controversial with indie games and AAA games having different prices, but let's for the sake of argument set that aside. There is not $60 worth of content in this game. Just ignoring the fact that it's an indie game, this game is essentially just a big grind. If I weren't a reviewer, I would not have bought this game. That is too expensive for what little there is. You're just paying for a $60 grind. This game doesn't have much gameplay in it except for the quests and the quests themselves, and every single one of these quests is a fetch quest. Go here, find something, bring it back. Every single quest. Sometimes you'll get a message in a bottle or happen upon a shipwreck, but that's about as far as the gameplay goes. The only other thing I can think, which is Skeleton Forge, which is essentially Horde mode. One thing that did feel fun about Sea of Thieves though was everything on the ship was manual. You'd adjust your sails, turn the lights off, and really building into my point earlier about the realism of it. And that's all well and good on a sloop, but my lord, on a galleon it is impossible. You have to adjust 3 sets of sails, both length and angle, and because they're bigger they turn more slowly. The anchor is pitifully slow. To bring it up at a decent speed you gotta have at least 3 crew members on it. There's 2 decks of places where holes could be. The resources are spread out all over the ship, plus it's slow, and you have to steer and check the map for navigation. The point being, everything manual is fun until you get to the galleon, because there is too much to do on a galleon. Honestly, the player size on a galleon needs an increase. I know that might upset the balance of the game, but galleons need maybe 6 people instead of 4, and sloops can probably have 3. But as it stands, it can be really hard to navigate a galleon as is, and I think it needs more people. And actually, speaking of the ships, this ship combat could be bloody impossible sometimes to hit, and even if you did hit, it was even harder to sink a ship. Because the thing is, to sink a ship, you'd have to kill the crew, because even just one person can mostly stop a ship from sinking, because you get so much water in your bucket, because the bucket can carry so much water. And moving the cannons even an inch throws your aim off completely in the air. It can be really hard to land shots, and even harder to hit the enemy crew with them. Alright, come here, you fucking jackanape.
If one of us can just get on their ship,
turn so I can hit them with the cannon, because it's not good. Thing is, this cannon can look up, straight up there, but it cannot turn to right, even slightly, and there's plenty of fucking room there. This cannon cannot go any further than that, but there is plenty of fucking room there.
yeah.
But it cannot fucking turn, because God knows why. I'm looking at it now, at the cannon, that could still turn. Thing is, the wheel is even clipping into the fucking ship. The wheel is merging with the ship.
I think they're trying to stop.
You know what they could do? Just pull the cannon back, aim it a little more to the right, and then you can shoot them. Fucking hell. Basic shit.
Cannon?
I'm on it, but unless I get a shot in front of them, I'm not going to hit them, because it's just going to go behind them. I need more turning. I need more turning, because I can't see them.
I'm doing it.
That's probably going to fucking hit us. Okay, just about. Look, I adjusted that ever so slightly, and it's fucking went too far and too short. I cannot fucking hit them, because these cannons are ridiculous. And they've turned again. I'm fucking sick of it, man. These guys are so fucking sweaty. God knows, does anyone else actually have, like, decent fucking combat in this game? Because I don't. It's just a load of this crap, just turning and chasing forever and ever. One's in the water with a fucking barrel. There he is. The land combat was okay, but it was very choppy and laggy. Which is another thing. I'm not entirely sure if it's just the servers, because in this gameplay, I was streaming too. The stream quality was fine, and I have heard other people keep getting it too, but the lag is unbearable on this game. Latency heavily affects everything you do. If you have even slightly bad internet, you will teleport constantly, lose fights because of it, and it's more annoying than you think. I have teleported off of cliffs, off of my own ship. It can be really frustrating. Honestly, no. Because the thing is, it's not even like... Oh, fucking, I'm teleporting again. Jesus! Fucking hell! Oh my god! I'm trying to go down some fucking stairs. Hardest thing in my life. Jesus. Fucking hell. Right, let's go check that. I thought you were going to bring us around to, like, the little bay area. Jesus. Fucking hell. I'm just trying to go below deck. It's not that hard. I keep fucking teleporting. I hate that I keep mentioning it, but I can't stop mentioning it because it doesn't fucking stop happening. But, oh my god. It's actually in an unplayable state right now. Ugh. I want to keep... Thing is, I want to keep going for like a few hours on the stream, but I'm about to fucking rage quit. I can feel it. As I said, I can't confirm whether this is just the servers, but the stream was fine. I've heard other people getting it too, and I don't get it that much on other games. A few of the miscellaneous points I thought I'd include: the achievements didn't work on this game until a week after release. And for those saying, oh, they track your progress and are going to give it to you when it's fixed. No, they don't, because I had to repeat things to get the achievements. There were also exploitable mechanics in the game, with there only being 2 ladders on ships. You could pretty much sit on the ladders with a shotgun and kill anyone who tried to board your ship. There was no death penalty, just waiting a while in a lobby on a really well-designed ghost ship, by the way, which I think should make it into the main game. You could also use mermaids that would teleport you back to your ship and exploit those pretty hard when it came to fights. Let's say you're being chased around an outpost and you need to sell your loot, you just go and drop one person off, have him use a mermaid to get back to the ship, and then keep doing the same thing. Some settings, like the field of view, were really awful. I had to set my field of view to maximum just to see things like a normal person, as everything else is so close up, and the fact that I have to set it to maximum should tell you that it needs changing. The lighting was not dark enough to hide your ships at night on the horizon, but dark enough to make sure you could never see what you were doing on your own ship or at an island. And one last big point is that the Pirate Legends stuff, which is what everyone is working for, because at the end of the game, if you get every company to level 50, you get this secret hideout and new stuff, and it was so bizarre to me at first that all this awesome gameplay and stuff would be at the end of the game. But the first person actually reached it recently. After a week, the person pretty much played it non-stop and had the viewers deliver them loot and such, so that should tell you something about the grind. And as it turns out, that awesome gameplay is just the same stuff as the current fetch quests we've got. And to get there, you have to get level 50 in every faction, which takes a really long time, and it just ends up making the game one big old grind. Honestly, this game can just be summed up by saying there is not enough here. Not enough gameplay, not enough rewards, not enough game mechanics, and so on and so on. Overall, what Sea of Thieves currently has is a beta. If this game was polished, if there was more content added, I'm sure it'd be a stellar hit. But with what it's got, the only amount of content here is just enough to suffice for a really grindy experience. If you're lucky, you'll maybe run into something exciting like the Kraken, but even then you don't get rewards for it. Sea of Thieves could have been so much better, but with this release, they have pretty much killed their game in terms of reviews. But give it about 6 months to a year, and I can see there being a lot of content updates added to this game, and it will finally be worth the $60 asking price, which at the moment, it's worth about $20, if that. So should you buy it? As is, no. Wait for the price to drop and wait for them to add more content, which I am sure is coming. In about 6 months' time, maybe even a year, I can see this game getting maybe an 8 or even a 9. But as it is right now at release, this game is garbage. Sea of Thieves, you get a 3. Propped up only by your creativity, but just struck down by the abysmal lack of content. This was and is a No Man's Sky scenario, and I think the phrase, as wide as an ocean, but as deep as a puddle, is even more accurate for this pirate game. Thanks for lending me your eyeballs, Blue Dudes. I'll see you next time.